Changing your assumptions opens portals. Literally just the other day, I went hardcore on assumptions. This is going to sound really crazy, but one of the assumptions that I had was with white women. Okay? Now, I got to be careful because, there's a lot of white women currently right here, so I don't want anybody to get offended here. And I'm sure there's a fair, decent amount of you snow bunnies here in the comments section, but I love women of all races. Okay? You guys already know how I'm in with the Latinas. You know how I am with the bronze, right? But, even though I've noticed there have been some white women in the past who were engaging with me, it seemed to be not the exact ones that I wanted, right? There always seemed to be a little bit of resistance in the area with white women for whatever reason. So when I did some reverse engineering, just like how I tell some of my clients, I saw the assumptions that I was holding about white women, because there is a specific person who I work with, who I've been kind of experimenting with, not really wanting to manifest a relationship with her, but wanting to just manifest attention with her. And I already made a success story about her on the membership channel, which, by the way, I post all my daily success stories. What I literally do is when I notice a success story in my 3D, I try to film my reaction, almost like an in-field lab report, a scientist in the lab talking about all his hypotheses and his results, and I try to capture my reaction right after it, right? So if you want to see my reaction about it, it's in the membership channel, but it's the only place where you can see the success stories. But with her, she's a white girl. She's tall, yum, and I noticed that even where there was moments that she would show kind of some sort of inkling of interest, or maybe even a little bit of like possible flirtations, right? Even though she's not out like outrageously extroverted when it comes to that. As a matter of fact, it seems that she's more on the innocent side of things. However, there always seemed to be some sort of part of me that wasn't able to see the side of her that wanted me, right? And whether it was that there were signs right there in my face that were clear-cut evidence, and I was just calling them subtle, ambiguous signs, or whether it was that I wasn't seeing the signs in 3D simply because the reality has to reflect back to you what you perceive to be true, what you assume is the case. And what I was assuming the case was that there's resistance with white people, with white women. And when I look back, this all started with my second girlfriend, who I met when I was 20 at the time. And yeah, man, she was amazing. She was very good to me, very affectionate. And she had this innocent, very white girl, like librarian look to her. And it wasn't like hippie librarian too. It was like she could play on the volleyball team. And as a matter of fact, she liked to play volleyball. But there was still enough librarian and nerd in her that was like the perfect pill, right? And I used to tell myself, that nerds and dorks, they are easy to date, right? But when we broke up, that shattered my assumption, right? But when I later grew up, I realized that she didn't break up with me because she was rejecting me. She was rejecting me because I was kind of gaslighting her throughout the relationship. And it's honestly about things that are not really worth discussing on this channel. But you see, the fact is, anybody from an outsider's point of view would have easily seen why she rejected me. Yet, because I had such a low self-concept at the time, I immediately took it as, oh, she's rejecting me because I can't get white girls like her. It wasn't meant to be. I can never, even if I do get a white girl of her caliber, which is my taste, she also was kind of tall, and she had long legs, yummy for the tummy, and because the relationship ended, I assumed, okay, well, then this means that I suck with white women. But if you really look at it, if this is an FBI agency investigating, they would have seen all the shit I was doing. It's like, no, dude, she just wanted to get away from you, not because you're ugly, but because you were being an asshole. And if you would have just not been in the state to begin with that led you to make those stupid narcissistic decisions, you probably would still be with her, right? Which, by the way, I don't really give a shit about her now, but you get the point. And so all that to say, when I realized that this is where the assumptions were coming from, I was able to revise it. And then I said, no, actually, I broke up with her because, she wanted to go to the Army, but we are still great friends. And even though I've moved on from her, she still sends me nudes. Perfect revision, right? Where it's not like, oh, you broke up with her because, she lost feelings for you. No, I just made her into an ex where she still has feelings for me, but I have the option to choose if I want her or not, right? And that's all I did. And then on top of that, I just changed my assumptions about that specific SP who works with me, who has the long legs, yummy, and all I did was say, I did a couple of self-pedestalizations. I'm not even going to lie. I said crazy stuff like she drinks my semen in her Lucky Charms. What did I say? That she has a life-size 3D printed plush toy of my penis that she uses as a stuffed animal to, finger herself to sleep with. I think I even said that she fingers her pussy with my name tags. Guys, are you trying to get me demonetized, right? I think I said that, right? But then on top of that, no pun intended, I just simply changed my perception whenever I would notice something in the 3D. This is the meat and bones of this video. If there was any point, if there's anyone in the comments that want to do a timestamp, do it right here. The meat and bones of this video is this. You could still see the resistance that she or he is showing you and use it to your favor. I said, why do I always have to completely revise everything? Why not use it for my favor? Why not say that she's acting indifferent with me at work because she is intimidated by me because of how sexy I am? Why not say that she's just nervous around me and shy? Because after all, I did have a concept of her that she is innocent and she's shy. Okay, but all of a sudden she's confidently rejecting me? That doesn't make any sense. I mean, how many times have I remember there was like 2 girls growing up where I kind of had an idea that they liked me, but one of them, she just completely had a bitch face for me. And I didn't find out till she was practically engaged that she liked me. And I was like, yeah, well, what the fuck, bitch, right? All that to say is, like, if you are noticing resistance with your SP and they're being indifferent, they haven't flat out told you, please marry me, you can just simply say it's intimidation. You can simply say they're nervous. Even if they block you, you could even say they're just playing hard to get, or they are trying to protect themselves from another heartbreak because they got cheated on in their last relationship. Which, by the way, the white girl that I had, the cute one that I gaslit and she broke up with me, that was actually one of the reasons why she originally kind of broke up with me at the beginning of the relationship, before our actual breakup. And I have a video on that. It's called How I Manifested My SP in 48 Hours. And in that, she told me that the only reason why she broke up with me was because she was afraid of getting hurt again by her ex who cheated on her. And her feelings for me were so strong that it triggered that trauma. But she realized after thinking about it that she made a mistake. And it was honestly the only time that a girl ever told me something like that. And one of you guys in the comments might be like, oh, that's bullshit, bro. But it's not bullshit unless you say it's bullshit, guys. Because that whole week, if you watch my video, I was such in the state that I didn't give a fuck that it's almost like reality had no other choice but to bring her back, right? And so when I changed my assumptions, going back to the girl at work now, we're going to call her Delilah. With Delilah looking all delightful, right? Guys, don't get me started with the legs. Can y'all stop? With her, I literally saw a transformation within the next day. First of all, she gave me like the fuck me eyes randomly, like at the end of a shift. And then the next day, right? Obviously, I was continuing my assumptions. She started randomly asking me about my YouTube channel, right? And not only that, but like very cute, very observant, very like, ooh, you should do this, you should do that. And then she even said, oh, you should do like vlogs about your lifestyle and stuff. And the way she was saying it was just kind of like her way of flirting, because she didn't just say, oh, that's cool. Like, that's cool. Okay, either way. So, what time do you get off, Sarah? Like, no, it was like the things she was saying about the channel were like clearly things that someone who would be interested in you would be saying, right? Just think about what she is saying. Like, she's saying she thinks I should do daily vlogs about my lifestyle. Why? Because that's her way of saying that she would love to see what I do in my personal life, right? And then on top of that, when she said, ooh, Neo's going to be a streamer, she said, oh, so are you going to do like a stream with Andrew Tate? She is saying that I should do a stream with Andrew Tate because she sees me as an alpha male. And I know some of you guys are going to be grossed and I'm like, oh my God, Andrew Tate. But I know that she sees Andrew Tate as an alpha male, okay? Because she's more, she's kind of like a college girl. So, but you get the point, guys, okay? And so this all happened within 24 hours of me changing my assumptions. And the thing is, guys, you're probably going to say that's not that big of a deal. Maybe not. But watch this. She and I never talk at work. So explain that. We never talk. And even in that moment where she was asking me about my channel, it was from her coworker friend who was asking me something about, randomly, by the way, about, oh, so are you planning on working here at the restaurant forever? And I even told her friend, we're just going to call her friend Sarah. I was like, Sarah, I told you before that I have, a second job, right? And instead of Delilah letting us just chat it out, she was the one who continued the conversation, and she became highly engaged with the idea of streaming with Andrew Tate and making daily vlogs, right? So it's almost like she needed that support from Sarah to get into her comfort zone. Okay, it's more comfortable because I have my third wheel here to help me out, right? Which a lot of girls, women, please vouch for me in the comments. You know damn well that sometimes when you're more nervous around a guy, it helps when you have your friend there to help you out, to give you more confidence, right? And men, we have wingmen. So she was using Sarah as a wingman, right? So all this was from assumptions, guys. And the key was not just changing my assumptions to, oh, all white women love me and, I am the snow bunny's papi chulo. But being undefeated, where even if the worst case scenario happens, you could simply say, dude, she blocked me because she is playing hard to get. And you see, it's not so much about actually making that come true. Like, oh, now reality's going to have to force that she's blocking you because she's playing hard to get. But it's taking the steam out of the intense emotions, the intense negativity from you getting blocked. And that's all it takes for you to get just a little bit of breathing room for you to be able to clear your conscience and be able to live with your life, not checking her damn Instagram all the time, not checking the 3D, not seeing how long it's been. And you'd be surprised how, whether it's through changing your assumptions, whether it's through the affirmations that I provide on my Stance store, where almost 90% of my clients have been using, and they have seen results right away. Customized daily affirmations where I say use their specific person's name, and it hits the subconscious even more powerfully because we're using things that are specifically tailor-made for their life situation, for their biography, right? Whether it's that or whether it's changing your assumptions, guys. The key is having that undefeated mindset that no matter what, it detaches you from the intense negative emotions that typically come from those 3D triggers. And once you detach, your subconscious says, well, there's the only reason why he must have a smile on his face, the only reason why she's in a good mood is probably because she has SP. And they have to now get you your SP. Okay? So if you guys want more in-depth help for your situation, guys, What are you waiting for? The links are in the description. I would love to work with you. And join the membership channel if you want to see the perks, guys. The blueprint, the proof is there. The proof is in the pudding. It's there in the posts on my channel. Look at that. But guys, I have shit to share with you. I have stories to tell. I have just wisdom that I know will change your life. Okay? Are you willing to invest in it? If so, the links are in the description, guys. I love you. Until next time.